I heard about this young rabbi who moved to Israel to take charge of a small synagogue. And he was walking in the neighborhood and he saw a group of kids playing, clearly not religious kids. And he comes close to the kids and says, hello kids, will you mind telling me where is the post office? And I said, yeah, sure. Keep walking 2 blocks and then turn to the right, you will see it there. Thank you so much. And by the way, if you come to my shul, I will show you how to go to heaven. The kids look at the rabbi, upside down a few times. And one of the kids said, nah, you don't even know how to go to the post office. Was it okay? Thank you. I have Harry's approval. I want to talk to you today about try again. And this is a serious matter because the concept of the sermon came to me one day. I was reading the newspaper. Let me tell you the story and let me tell you how it happens. I would like to share with you a little bit of a context, okay? I guess every person has a morning routine. Am I right? I have a very strict morning routine because my son goes to school, so that means that the alarm goes off every day at the same time. And I'm the one going downstairs, preparing coffee for everybody and breakfast. I have, everything is timed. And one of the things that I like is I get the newspaper from outside the house and I sit down, I drink my coffee and I read a little bit of the newspaper as much as I can. I never have time to go cover to cover. But I've been following for a while this news about and you've probably been following as well, the news about the remains on the landfills, right? That it was a very depressing topic for a while, and what it moved me the most was the fight for the families to convince people, authorities, the government, to go and search the landfill. It was very moving, very moving. If I don't know what I would do if you have to go against an entire government, right? It's very hard, but never again. And they found countless no's along the way, but they kept doing it, and eventually the search began, and they found 2 remains. And then this last week they were able to put a name to one of the victims that they didn't know who she was. It was called the Buffalo Woman. And it was finally known through DNA that the name was Ashley Shingus, right? 30 years old. So sometimes news are depressing, but sometimes news are a huge motivator for us. Because I was thinking that they were able to find those remains and to put that name to an unknown person because somebody decided to try again after every no. Sometimes it's a loved one who won't take a no as an answer. Sometimes it's a relative who will keep pushing. Sometimes it will be a group of people who wouldn't give up and they will try again. And to me, that was worth a sermon to learn that. Why do I say this? Because after I read that, I was thinking, how dare I or how dare you give up a dream or a project? It didn't work. It's done. Oh, the relationship struggle. Let's give up. How dare you? How dare us as a society give up the first time we get a no, or the second or the third? And I said, once in a while, we have to pay attention to the right side of the news and to learn a lesson from there. And I believe that the concept of trying again, don't taking a no, trying one more time is a very Jewish thing to do. And this is something that we see with the people of Israel once and again, and that's why we are here. Because we never gave up, we never took a no as an answer, And because of that, we have achieved a lot in our Jewish history. And I believe that today, God is saying to us, try again. And I don't know your situation, but I believe that is what we have to hear this week. Try again. I remember, and I think I shared this story with you before, I always remember my brother. We are 3 boys. I'm the oldest. The one in the middle, his name is Edgar. And he auditioned for the kids' choir when we were in elementary school. I have to say, I went to Hebrew school. We had the largest kids' choir in Buenos Aires. When you have a city with, 150,000 Jews, being the largest choir of the city, that's an accomplishment, right? We used to go everywhere, and it was a big honor to be accepted to be singing in that choir. Well, he failed the audition. He was told that he couldn't sing, or at least that's what he read from that audition. And he never sang for decades, until one day, his wife convinced him to pick up the guitar and start singing again. And what do you know? He had a beautiful voice. And then I realized what happened. When he was choir age, his voice was too low for a kids' choir. So it wouldn't blend properly. So it's not that he couldn't sing, it's that his voice wouldn't match the style of the choir. But unfortunately, either nobody explained that to him, or he didn't understand it properly. Long story short, he quit singing because of that no. And this is something that I talked to him before, and he learned from that story as well. And he learned a big lesson to never give up when one door closes. Now, in this week's Parsha, and I mentioned that before, happened something very interesting. There is a recount of all the elements of the tabernacle. But that already happened last week. So I was thinking, why did Moses have the need to count again when we don't really know the real motivation? But there are many theories. One is, for example, because Moses may have felt that something went wrong, that it was not done properly. Okay? So he said, guys, let's do it again. The other is maybe people were talking. Maybe Moses, he was too close to the money. Maybe he took something. Okay? No more rumors, no more slander. Let's count it again. There are many reasons, but the important thing is that Moses thought that when you feel that something is not right, try again, do it again. And that goes, especially, when things goes relatively well, but especially when things don't go well. That sometimes we have to be like Moses, and we have to be like people fighting for the search on the landfill. We have to be like the Jewish people all along history, to never take the possibility that something is wrong, and to try again, and to try not only again, but to try to make it better, right? And I was thinking, there are so many silly things in life that whenever we fail, we try again. And then the important things, we don't. Let me give you an example. Yeah, of course, yes. You are Canadians. Have you ever been to Tim Hortons? Have you ever rolled up the coffee? Rolled up to win. What does it say? Have you tried again? You try again for a coffee, but big things in life, maybe you don't. Right? I never met anybody who stopped playing lottery because they didn't win. Next week, they go and buy another ticket. Right? They don't give up because and they've been doing this for years and years and years. But then again, and the important things, projects, studies, careers, relationships, they give up. Let me tell you, not a good example that we don't give up in silly things and we give up on big things in life. So I want to encourage you to don't be the person who gives up because you get a no. Because that's life. we get many, many no's along the way. We should be the person, like always, try again. If the things are wrong, to make it right. And if the things are right, to make it better. But we should always, always be trying again, and we should always checking again, and we should always be doing things at a higher standard. And that is a law in Judaism. I don't know if you know that we learn from Hanukkah, actually. That's why we go the candles from 1 to 8. Because the rabbis say, in the sacred matters, we always increase and we never decrease. May we always find ways to try again and to try again until we succeed and until we make things better for us, for our society, and for the world. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.